or tactical team.
Hey there guys, this is me, Malorian, with Little Tiny Orko. Hey, how's it going? And this is going to be an Orc Tactical Team. I had started these back up last week, and I was really happy to see that you guys like seeing these. I know I kind of was wondering for a while whether it was worth having them or not, and clearly you guys love them, so we're going to keep on doing them. And I'm trying to sneak this in between baby duties, so yeah, the little guy is going to be here with me too. Now today's topic is we're going to be talking about the real issue that I see is Una2. Now, Una2 is one of the new warlocks for the Circle Oberos, and has a few tricks up her sleeve. And one of the biggest issues why you want to kind of more focus on something like her, and say not like so much of a Karchev, is whereas with the errata, Karchev and Madrak 2 and some of those things might be fixed, well, Una2 is brand new, and you would think at least that they probably released her the way that they want her to be, with, you know, kind of seeing things are going. And so we're probably not going to see her change until the next errata after that. So definitely if there's something worrisome about her now, we definitely want to kind of focus on it. So first of all, let's kind of like cover what she is. She has 29 War Beast points, so pretty solid. Speed 6, Fury 7, which is not too bad there. Mat 5, Rat 6, Defense 15, Armor 15, Command 8, Pathfinder, you know, all stuff there. Pretty par for the course, nothing really crazy. Then we're going to get to her gun, which is just range 10, POW 10. You know, nothing so bad about that, just a magical gun. And then after that she has a Talon Strike, which she has like range 2, but it's POW 9. So looking at this right now, she seems very underwhelming. But we're going to start looking at some of her other stuff where this is going to start getting a little bit bigger. Now, next one we're talking about is her spells. Now, the first one here is Hand of Fate, which is a great spell to have. And one that I feel that right now a lot of people are overlooking because, as we'll get to, she loves her Griffins, and this is not really helping the Griffins as much, but there's some units that love to have this. So, it's a cost 2, range 6, upkeep. And this one here is target friendly faction model or unit gains an additional die on attack and damage rolls. And it doesn't say what it has to be, whether it's, you know, melee or shooting or magic, can be any of those things, and you get this extra bonus, and then you just drop the lowest at the end. So really, you just pick a unit, and this goes and makes them that much better, right? If you just want to make sure that they're hitting or making sure that they are doing a little bit more damage, this is a great spell. Next one here is Mirage. It is cost 2, range 6, upkeep, and target friendly faction model or unit again gains Apparition. And what that does, if you don't know, is during the control phase, the model of the Apparition gets to have a 2-inch place. Just kind of like, there I go. And that's fantastic for so many different reasons. Whether it's on a beast to get more threat, or whether it's on a unit to get more threat, or a unit to dislodge itself, it's a pretty nice spell to have. So a little bit of tricks here. Next one here is going to be Twister. This one's going to be, I'm going to be bouncing around. This is like a parent thing. This is like an extra like parent orc tactical team, I guess. But Twister. Cost 2, range 10, AoE 3, POW 10, and this thing here is an AoE which is also a cloud effect and remains in play for a round. And so really the damage portion of this really probably isn't going to be the biggest deal. You know, it's nice to have kind of like a ranged kind of magic missile you can be doing, but moreover, so getting those cloud effects and saying poof poof poof, yay, I got clouds, that can sometimes be very, very important. So nice to have that there. Now, here's a more important one at the bottom, Wind Wall. So this is a cost 3 self, and this one here says the spellcaster cannot make range attacks after casting this spell, and non-magical range attacks targeting it automatically miss. While completely within 3 inches of the spellcaster, models cannot make range attacks, and non-magical range attacks targeting them automatically miss. So yeah, this lasts for a round. And so this really kind of protects her. Like, clearly she has a gun, so she'll want to shoot first and then do this. I'm sure you're going to catch some of them where they're going to mess up and they're going to go, haha, wind wall, and then they can't shoot. So, you know, look out and see if they make those little errors. But, yeah, unless somebody's got some magical guns, she can say, you're not shooting at me or my friends within 3 inches of me. So that could be a definite problem. Now, let's get to her feet. Now, the feat here says, friendly faction models with flight. And remember, not only Griffins have flight, there's also a Gargantuan, and who knows what else might come down the line. Currently in Una's control range, gain +2 speed for 1 turn. Additionally, while in Una's control range, friendly faction light war beasts with flight, so now we are just talking about Griffins, cannot be targeted by melee attacks. And this lasts for 1 round. And yeah, this is a big part of it, which a lot of people are really worried about because it is kind of a lot like Saren's feat. So Saren in Mark II had it where like, hey, my battle group can't be targeted by melee attacks. What you gonna do? It lasts a whole round. So you can get in there and you can beat guys up, stand tall and say I'm invincible, and then just keep up the attrition. And the attrition bonus on this was huge, and the scenario pressure on it was huge, which is kind of why Saren lost it. And now after taking it away, they give it to somebody new. So it's not on all the beasts, it's just on these ones here, the light war beasts with flight. They can't be attacked. There's also the extra speed in there too. But yeah, you can definitely get into some crazy things. Now, getting into that and why Griffins love her and she loves Griffins, let's look at another part of her. One of the rules that Una2 has is called Birds of Prey. While in Una's control range, Griffin war beasts in her battle group gain flank. So with that, if they got flank going on, they get +2 to hit, and they get an additional damage die. So yeah, slicey, they're going to start killing some stuff. And all of a sudden, those light war beasts who weren't really doing too much before, they get a nice big boost there. Plus, they also have Hawker. While in this model's control range, war beasts in its battle group with flight, now it doesn't say lights or anything, so this could be some other ones coming in as well too, gain sprint. So as long as at the end of their activation, in which it destroys or removes from play 1 or more enemy models, a model with sprint can immediately make a full advance, and then it ends. So the great thing between these two is that basically sometimes you have a unit with flank, it's really hard to get this off, and it's kind of like, oh, I'll try and like put these here, and okay, this one killed, so now this attack is wasted. Well, what can happen with this is like, okay, this Griffin comes into here, kills the guy, then flies over to here. Now you just gave them flank, kill a guy with that model, he moves over to the next one. And so having that control to get that flank wherever you need is awesome. Plus, it lets you get a little bit more extra movement out of the unit, which can be used for either attacking and running away or attacking again deeper, which is exactly what she loves to do. Her gun is also kind of fancy as well. So remember, when we looked at it, it was like POW 10, range 10, who really cares about that? Well, it also has attack types. So each time she shoots, she can either get Black Penny, so if you're trying to freeze something up, why not? You can also get on Snipe, so also in its range 14. Okay, sure, why not? Range out, like try and snipe out some kind of key solo or something like that. And then it also has Thunderbolt. And that's the one where you get to, once you hit them, push them D3 inches, and if you get it with a critical hit, then they get knocked down. And that can be very huge. Come on, Orko. Let's just get you up here. Now, she also has Reload 2 on this, so if she wants to make more shots, she can pay up to 2 more Fury to get 2 more shots. So you can be getting actually 3 of these. So there we go. There we have everything of Una2. So why is this even a problem? Well, the number one thing that people, I wonder if it's like making people dizzy at home. And I'm just like bouncing and going back and forth and throwing you guys off. But the first thing that people are worried about is the Griffin spam, because of course with her, Griffins get that extra boost and they can do a lot of extra damage, and one of the ones that people are looking at is the Scarfell. Now the Scarfell is not the most, whoa, it is not the most cheap of the different options. However, it has the extended control range, and it also has stealth. So when you go and combine that with her own wind wall, all of a sudden gun lines would be completely shut down unless they can have true sight or be magical or something. So, I mean, it doesn't really help you against, say, like a little 3 list, but if you're a different type of list, yeah, that could be a real problem. So definitely that's a big one that people are looking at there. And as well with this, with that feat and getting extra speed, we talked about already with Saren, the whole idea where they can rush in, kind of block off a zone and say, all right, this is me. I got this now. I'm going to go and score here. Thank you very much. Yep, there we go. I dominated. Oh, he didn't get in. I dominated again. And it can be really, really powerful. What is it, Orko? Look at it. It is pissing him off.
Privateer Press. Whoa, this is bullshit. What were you thinking with this?
So anyway, yeah, that's a big thing that people are worried about right now. Now, there are ways around it. You know, if they're trying to block you out, sure, maybe on the feet you can't attack them with melee attacks, but you can always shoot them, you can hit them with magic, as long as you're getting around the stealth portion, or if you had somebody who is incorporeal or something to get through, you know, there are ways to stop it and get around. Of course, another one is just making sure that you're aware of it yourself and getting into zones and stuff like this. And so I think that's the first wave of this caster. Hey, look, I have all these griffins. Hooray, I'm going to go in there and feat and try and do this. But I think as people get better and more prepared for it and make sure they don't lose on scenario, then all of a sudden that's not going to be the biggest, scariest thing here. And I think what it turns into then is she starts turning into an attrition scenario caster. Now, what I want to say from that is that remember we talked about she had some pretty awesome spells that we weren't really using here other than the wind wall? Well, one of those is that Hand of Fate. And if she has any ranged unit whatsoever, or a spray unit, they can be devastating. So let's say you have the Mist Riders, or you have the Trackers, or something like that, that you're going to be putting these on. And remember, you're going to hot swap this too, right? Put it on one, upkeep it, let them do their thing, then put it on the other one. Yeah, she can make her force very deadly, and as far as anti-infantry goes, or maybe even a little bit of heavy or anti-heavy, you're going to start getting some pretty good stuff going on there. Now, all of a sudden now, if we're saying we're doing this, and like Mist Walkers are going in there, or Mist Riders, I think they're called, whatever, you know, they go in, they spray, all those things are getting extra dice to hit and damage and drop the lowest, and you're just slaughtering guys, well then all you really have to deal with after that is the heavies. Isn't that right, Orko?
That's right. I just keep on getting angrier. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to fly in with those griffins, do some damage, and then pop feet and trap the heavies so that the heavies coming in behind can smash them.
Yeah, that is absolutely right, Orko. That is right on the point. And so that'll be the biggest thing, right? These griffins on the feet turn can come in, attack whatever little bit infantry is kind of in the way, and then sprint to be kind of boxing in the heavies. Of course, if you had 3 griffins on a heavy, you could completely pin it in, but even with just 2, you can really trap it to a point where, hey, it's not having any forward threat, and then if you have anything else heavy coming in on your side, whether it's a Getorix or a Stalker or whatever it is, you're pretty much setting yourself up for a massive attrition go. So right away, you have a ranged attrition coming in to take out all the infantry, and then you pop feet to lock things down, and then past that, hey, you can't come to me, and my heavies are going to knock you out. And it's going to be very, very difficult to come back from that. And the thing is that while this is all happening and you're playing this attrition game, she's still doing the scenario game, right? She could still be trying to block things out. If something towed a zone, she could do her little thunderbolts and knock things out, right? Like you'd think you're safe if you put 3 heavies towing a zone. Bink, 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 she can knock all 3 of them out. So, yeah, definitely a lot of worry here. And I mean, and this thing's here to stay. And I know, Orko, it's so bad that this will be here for at least half a year until the next errata, but it's just the way things are. So I want everyone to be aware of what's coming and the layers to it, right? Griffin spam, like absolute Griffin spam, where there's like 10 of them, that's going to be a short-term thing. Long-term will be more of a mixed thing, where you have an infantry that's really using Hand of Fate, and then locking things down with the Griffins so that the heavies can come through and clean things up. And it is going to be one hell of a list to deal with. So there you go, guys. There is the Orc Tactical Team from myself, Malorian, and little tiny Orko here.
This is just so stupid. What am I supposed to do to beat this?
We'll find a way. You know, here's the thing. Down in the comments, what faction do you think that Orko plays, you know? She-Ra plays Kador, and He-Man plays Menoth. So my other kids already play. You know, what faction is this guy complaining about? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please put your comments down below, and we'll catch you later. Bye.